In today's video, guys, I'm going to be talking about the pros and cons of buying a second-hand motorhome. So let's do it! I have been in thousands of motorhomes over the years, and I've lived in mine solidly for 6 years. And you name it, I've done it. I've parked there, I've parked here, there and everywhere, and there isn't something I haven't seen really in a motorhome. So I think I've got quite a good understanding of the pros and cons of buying a second-hand motorhome. Now, the first pro of buying a second-hand motorhome is something I didn't actually realise until I was talking to Rob, and it's the VAT. The dealer's not getting that money, the manufacturer's not getting that money. It's the government and the VAT man. Now, the VAT, the tax, the government argument completely aside, you are not getting anything for that money. So if you're buying a nice £75,000 motorhome, you are spending £12,500 on something you're not getting. So you could, in theory, go and buy a £60,000 motorhome and just keep the extra 12 grand in the bank. Or you could go buy a 60, 62, 63,000 pound motorhome and then spend 12 grand on some awesome upgrades, solar, lithium, aircon. You could even get a leveling kit with in that £12,000. But with a second-hand motorhome, there is, when I say there's no VAT, there is a slight amount of VAT, but it's only on the dealer's profit. If they buy a motorhome for £45,000, they're selling it for £55,000, they're making £10,000 profit ish, because they probably put some money into it as well. So of that £10,000, then there's going to be a little bit of VAT on there. So there's nowhere near as much as £8,000, £12,000, £15,000 from a brand new motorhome. Before we get on to the actual accessories that you find often on second-hand motorhomes, most new motorhomes that are sold today, I'm not 100% sure the insurance companies stipulate that for it to be insured, because they want to insure their investment, they don't want to be paying out for a £100,000 motorhome. They tell you that it's either got to have an alarm system or a tracker, usually a Cat 1, which can be anywhere between 500 quid up to £2,000, £3,000, depending on if it's an alarm or a tracker or if it's both and what kind of system it is. So now, if they're all getting new motorhomes now, being told that, via the insurance company, you're being told you have to do that, then that means when it comes to being second hand, we haven't got to do that. If you're buying a second hand one, you haven't got to put an alarm system on because it's already been put on. You haven't got to put a tracking system on because chances are it's been put on, which is a bonus for you. That can save you between, like I say, £500 and £3,000, which is an absolute result. Now, I'm sitting in a nice little Heimer here. It's an MLT 540, little 2.1 litre Heimer. I just read that backwards. On the roof is a satellite dish, the Sat Dome. Now, they can start between £400 or £500 all the way up to £1,500 to £2,000. You might not want it. You might not go and buy it yourself personally. But if it comes with the motorhome that you're looking at, hey, it's a bonus. You haven't had to pay it. It's there already. You can use it if you want it. You could, if you really didn't want it, you could sell it. So there's a little bit of a bonus there. You could take it off and sell it. But that's just the start of the things that can come with it. I mean, you've got other things that can come with them will be, things like aircon, leveling system, Wi-Fi built in on the roof, awnings, bike racks, solar, inverters. All these people like to put on their nice new shiny motorhomes, and then when they come to sell them, they usually leave them on because one, it's a pain to get them off. Two, they're going to get probably a newer system when they get the next motorhome, so they won't take it with them. That'll be me. I'm not going to take my stuff with me. I'll leave it on the motorhome. And three, when people, the added benefit for you when you come to buy these is they don't really add much to the sale price. So you could have a motorhome that's £50,000 and there's 10 of them, and they're all within around probably 10,000 miles of each other. They've all got the same pretty much spec, but one's got a leveling system. Now, if they're all floating around the 48, 49, 50, £51,000 mark, That one that's got the leveling system, which could have cost up to, you know, 8 grand to put on, they can't charge an extra £8,000 for that leveling system on the market, because it will just then be, that one will be right down the bottom of the list, £58,000, and it's never going to get bought, it's never going to get seen, no one's going to do it. So they might put an extra 1,000 on, so it's like at the bottom of the list, but you know, more so it's I can't say this word, a differentiator. Differentiator. So it's like, yeah, all these are great, but mine's got this as well at this price, and it's only £500 more, for instance. That's what a second-hand dealer would do. They wouldn't really try and get much more for it. So when you do buy it new and you put that, you know, system on, you're not going to get an amazing amount of money back for it, which is great for us, because then it's great if you want to buy a second-hand motorhome, because you win. You get a nice leveling system, a nice aircon, a nice satellite dish, a nice dome, solar, inverter, whatever it may be, or it could be all. You get it at bargain basement prices. And it's already installed. You haven't even got to put the labour. That's another thing. Didn't even have that on my list. That's just popped into my head. Second-hand, already done. Aircon. Aircon. Have a look at that. Now, someone probably paid a lot of money to put that in when they bought this motorhome new. It's a lovely addition to have, because in summer you can keep it nice and chill in here. Such a saving. The fitting, the whole lot. You know it's in. You can test it's working, and yeah, you're golden. You're good to go, and you're nice and chill. Scoring all the upgrades is absolutely spot on. It's just what you want. I mean, that's what I want. That's what I'm looking for. If I can find one with aircon, with a leveling system, with, you know, an upgraded fridge, God knows whatever I can get, I want to take, because then I haven't got to pay for it myself. But you need to make sure they've been fitted and installed correctly and safely. And that's where finding a good second-hand dealer like Oaktree, it's a lot more reliable than going private. When you go to a private sale, a private second-hand sale, you know, they might have tried to put the solar in themselves. You don't know if they've done that correctly. So yeah, when you come to buying a second-hand motorhome, if you buy it from private, you need to make sure whatever goodies come with it, that they've been installed correctly and safely. Just because you're buying brand new doesn't mean your motorhome can't come without faults. Everything can have faults, whether it's brand new off the factory line, second hand, third hand, a million hand, everything can have faults. There's no getting around that. Now, I've heard from many people within the industry that most motorhomes, now not all, and this could be across all brands and all manufacturers, but most come with about 30 faults. Now, this might be loose screws, missing fittings, a little bit of sealant missing, or a little bit too much sealant, things not put on correctly, little faults, snags. It's fair to say that second-hand motorhomes have had these snags and little niggly bits all ironed out, because they've been used, they've been taken out, they've been driven around, they've been slept in. You know, if there was a loose screw here, it'd have been done. If there was a snag here, something missing there, something not fitting right there, they should have all been put right. A good second-hand dealer, they've bought, seen, prepared, sold thousands of motorhomes, so they know what they're looking for when things are loose. They know where screws get loose, they know where things are broken off normally, they know what to look for in loose cupboard doors and soft flooring and damp issues and broken this and broken that. They know what they're looking for. And also, they won't buy a lemon, because they don't want to try and sell a lemon, because that's not going to be great for them. And then they don't have to fix that lemon, because that's going to cost them more money, which eats into their profits. So they're only going to be looking for the best of the best out there to then buy, to resell to the market, because they've got their reputation to protect, and they want repeat customers at the end of the day. Like Oaktree, they do great customer service because they love working with their customers and building relationships. So they don't want to sell something that someone's not going to enjoy and like, and they're never going to come back to them and just complain about them, because that's not going to make them more bacon, is it? I'm not going to name names, but a dealer bought a brand new motorhome. I think it was like a month old, less than 6 months old, right? And they brought it into the thing. They're preparing it, and the floor snapped. I said that right. The floor snapped. They then sent it back to the dealer, to the manufacturer, to be fixed under warranty. And even with all their connections, their experience, the amount of people they've got in their phone books, and the people that have done favours for over the years because they've been in business for years and they all know each other, it still took them, a dealer, 7 months to get that motorhome back on their forecourt, which is flipping hell. Can you imagine if my motorhome got taken for 7 months? I'd be homeless. What am I going to do there? So that's a dealer working with a manufacturer, trying to get something that the manufacturer messed up, and it was under warranty, but took them 7 months. Now, that motorhome could have plummeted in price. They paid X, it's now worth X, it's now worth Z, and they've lost. You know, they're not going to get that money back. And if you're buying this to go, you know, do a long-term 3-year trip around Europe or something, and something goes wrong, you're then not with a motorhome, all because they take forever. Warranties, all these little snags and tags and broken little bits and that can happen on a new motorhome. Sure, they're under warranty. 99% of it will probably be under warranty, one way or another. But dealing with that warranty and dealing with that main manufacturer and getting that main dealer to fix it can be a nightmare. Buying a second-hand motorhome, you have to accept. People have slept in it, they have used it, they have had dinner parties, they've been travelling in it, it has been used by multiple other people. Now, some people don't like that, and I understand that, I get that, and that's why they buy new. And if you've got the means and the resources to buy new, then more love to you, fair play to you. But that has to be accepted. I mean, there's no getting around that. It has been used by someone else. It's not a deal breaker for me, but it does need to be noted that it is a con compared to buying nice, shiny, brand new. That is all gleaming, never been touched by anyone. You are the first person to use it, and you're the first person to experience all of it in all its glory. So yeah, that is one, I would say, con, but you know, I don't see it as I wouldn't buy something that looked like it belonged on the rubbish heap, and I'm assuming you wouldn't either. When this motorhome was probably bought brand new, you could probably choose what wood grain you want this, what wood grain you want this, what colour you want these seats, what colour you want the middles and the edges, if you want different colour piping, you know, what colour you want the floor. There's going to be, it's like buying a car. There's the standard, and then there's the book of extras, and you can literally have things the way you want it. So if you have got a picture in your mind of your dream motorhome with this kind of colour stitching, this wood grain here and that wood grain there and this colour here and that floor, if you've got that in your mind, then it's going to be really hard to find that. Not to say it's not out there, because it might be, but it's going to be a lot harder to find second hand. And then if you do find the layout and the model that you want, but it isn't in the, you know, the shades and all the finishes you want, getting it to that would be highly expensive. I mean, you can change all the upholstery, that's not a problem, but changing wood finishes and colours, that's quite a heavy thing to do on a motorhome. So I wouldn't change that. So you are limited in options if you have that dream motorhome in your mind. Now, I couldn't make this video without mentioning the supply chain. Trying to get a new motorhome today is, to say difficult is an understatement. We're in 2023 at the moment. I think they're taking orders for 2025 right now, some of the dealers. Now, that's crazy. You want a motorhome, you want it kind of like now, you know. You want to get out there, you want to start using it, you want to start traveling. Now with the second-hand market, as you can see behind me, all here, there's motorhomes to be bought. There's motorhomes out there to buy. You've just got to look, you just got to find the one that you want. But there is so much more supply of second-hand motorhomes than there are new ones. Clearly there's pros and cons to everything. Buying new, buying second hand, buying a motorhome, buying a camper van, buying a tent. There are pros and cons to everything. I think I've given quite a good overview of the pros, mainly the pros of buying a second-hand motorhome. I am a little bit biased. I've bought second-hand and I haven't got the budget to buy new, and I'm probably not going to buy new. So, you know, I'll be honest, I am slightly skewed to the second-hand thing, the second-hand market, because I think you get a lot more bang for your buck, really, if I'm brutally honest. I have thrown a few negatives in there. Sure, the motorhomes are used. They have been owned by someone else. They're not going to be mint pristine on everything. There will be a little scuff here, a little dink here, a little scratch there. You know, there are things to check out. But on the whole, I do think buying a second-hand motorhome, as long as you buy from a good dealer, you ain't going to go wrong. You really ain't. And you can get out on the road, join me, join everyone else. Get out there, enjoy the road, enjoy travel, and have a freaking good time. Catch you guys in the next one.